My brother's new wife. That shamed me, so I revealed her mommy makeover at the baby shower. I was 22 and absolutely dreading meeting Sarah. For months, I'd been scrolling through her Facebook like a stalker, memorizing every workout video she posted since 2020. Every single photo showed her rock-hard abs and toned arms, which was insane considering she had 3 kids. The woman looked like she'd never even heard of pregnancy, let alone done it 3 times. Not that I'm hideous, at least I hope not. I just carry my weight differently. Size 6 instead of 2, and definitely more curves than cuts. But I kept my anxiety to myself because the last thing I needed was my brother thinking I was jealous of his wife. The day arrived, I picked out a flowy blouse that hid my midsection and put on extra concealer. My brother showed up in basketball shorts. Typical. The second we entered their house, I got ambushed. Sarah's parents practically tackled me with affection, treating me like their own daughter. Then Sarah appeared, looking exactly like her photos. No filter needed. She threw her arms around me screaming, "Finally, I've been dying to have a sister." Her enthusiasm felt real, so I relaxed and smiled back. Everything was fine until we sat down to eat. I was starving after skipping lunch out of nerves. When I cleared my plate first, Sarah's mother sweetly asked if I wanted more, but Sarah's eyes went wild, darting between my face and my empty dish over and over. "Oh, wow, you might want to slow down there. Trust me. Those calories stick around way longer when you're young. Just wait until you have babies, then it's impossible." My fork clattered down. Somehow it felt like my fault for having a normal human appetite. My brother's jaw clenched, but I grabbed his knee under the table. No way would I ruin his marriage over one comment. I mumbled good point and turned down seconds, even though Sarah's mom looked confused. But that single moment gave Sarah permission to become my personal weight loss coach. My phone lit up on the drive home. She was flooding my DMs with intermittent fasting guides and inspirational before-after photos. She hadn't even followed me back yet. I liked every message without responding. People have quirks. If Sarah's only issue was being obsessed with fitness, my brother had still found himself a catch. When Sarah's dad's retirement party came around, I showed up. This time I studied the menu online first so I'd know what to order. But Sarah appeared out of nowhere an hour early. Seeing me, she cackled. "Thank God someone else can't handle being late. I always come super early because I have to pump in the car. The implants make it weird when they're fresh." My jaw dropped. She could tell I was confused. "Oh, sorry. I forget not everyone knows. Yeah, I've had the full works done. Chest, tummy, butt, even some face stuff. Just don't mention it to Tom's family. You can keep secrets. Right?" I nodded, speechless. Every insecurity I'd felt melted away. Her discipline was just expensive surgery. I truly planned to stay quiet. But at dinner, when the waiter approached, Sarah shrieked with laughter. "Jesus, are you planning to order the entire menu? Save some food for the rest of us." She slapped the table, tears streaming down her face from her own joke. My brother's family stared in horror. Even the waiter looked uncomfortable. "Hey, Sarah, if you're going to get that much surgery, maybe ask for a personality upgrade next time." Dead silence. The waiter snorted. "What's wrong?" "Didn't know." I turned to Tom's parents. Sarah's had everything done. Face, chest, stomach, that bounce-back body. It's bought and paid for. Sarah's father-in-law started yelling about trust. Her mother-in-law used some creative language. Apparently, they'd been sending money for health issues after each birth. Sarah bolted from the restaurant. My brother chased after her, still processing everything. I thought that was the end. But the next morning, my mom called hysterical. Our house had been ransacked. My teenage sister's laptop was missing. Sarah doesn't just have a plastic surgeon on speed dial. She's completely unhinged. The police arrived within 20 minutes. My mom kept pacing the living room, wringing her hands while my dad talked to the officers. Amy sat on the couch, tears streaming down her face as she stared at the empty space where her laptop used to be. "They came through the back door," my dad explained, pointing to the splintered wood frame. "Broke the lot completely. We were at church for maybe 2 hours." The officer taking notes glanced around. "Anything else missing?" "Just the laptop," my mom said. "They went straight to Amy's room. Didn't touch the TV, didn't take any jewelry, just her computer." I watched Amy's shoulders shake. That laptop had everything. Her school projects, photos with friends, college application essays she'd been working on for months. My stomach churned knowing exactly who did this. The officers dusted for prints and took photos, but we all knew they wouldn't find much. Whoever broke in wore gloves. They knew exactly what they wanted. After the police left, I pulled Amy aside. "Hey, didn't you mention something about backing up your files last week?" Her eyes widened. "Oh my God, yes. I set up automatic cloud backup after Jessica's computer crashed. Everything should be there." We rushed to my dad's desktop. Amy logged into her cloud account, fingers flying across the keyboard. Relief washed over her face as folders appeared on screen. "It's all here," she breathed. "Well, everything up until yesterday morning." I leaned closer, scanning the files. Photo folders, documents, browser history. "Wait, Amy, can you check your photo folders? All of them?" She clicked through, confused. "Why? They're just pictures of me and my friends." But as we scrolled, my suspicion grew. Amy had hundreds of photos. Selfies, group shots at school events, beach pictures from last summer, normal teenage stuff, except now someone had physical access to all of it. My phone buzzed. "Tom, Sarah's losing it. She locked herself in the bathroom and won't come out." "What the hell happened?" I stepped outside to answer. "Someone broke into Mom and Dad's house, stole Amy's laptop." Silence. Then, "You think Sarah? Who else would break in and take only a teenage girl's computer?" Nothing else was touched. Tom's voice dropped. "She was gone this morning, said she needed to clear her head. Took the car for a few hours. I thought she went to the gym." My blood ran cold. "Tom, you need to check her car. Look for anything suspicious. I can't just she's my wife. Your wife who just found out everyone knows about her surgeries, who ran out of a restaurant in tears, who's now locked in your bathroom after a break-in at our parents' house." He sighed. "I'll look." Inside, Amy was still at the computer. "This is so weird. Someone created a folder called New Profile Pics that I definitely didn't make. It's just copies of my photos, but selected ones. Like someone went through and picked specific pictures." My hands clenched. Those photos could be used for anything. Fake social media profiles, dating sites, God knows what else. "Amy, change all your passwords. Everything. Email, social media, banking, all of it." Monday morning, I was in my dorm room when my phone exploded with notifications. My roommate Megan looked up from her textbook. "What's wrong?" I stared at my screen in horror. Someone had tagged me in dozens of Facebook posts. Comments were pouring in under photos I'd never seen before. Screenshots of supposed conversations where I was saying horrible things about a struggling mother of 3. "Look at this," I showed Megan. The account posting everything was called Stand Up to Bullies, and claimed to be exposing my campaign of harassment against an unnamed mom who was just trying to live her life after having children. The screenshots looked real. They showed my profile picture next to messages calling someone fat, lazy, and pathetic, telling them their kids would be better off without them, threatening to expose what a terrible mother you really are. Megan grabbed my phone studying the images. "These are edited. Look, the font's slightly off in your messages, and the timestamp formatting is wrong." But the comments didn't care about fonts. People were calling me a monster, saying I should be ashamed, threatening to find out where I went to school. My actual Facebook started getting angry messages from strangers. Then my email dinged. The subject line made my stomach drop. "Concern about student conduct. Urgent. The dean of students wanted to see me immediately regarding serious allegations of cyberbullying and harassment that have been brought to the college's attention." I ran across campus, Megan beside me. "This is insane. You need to document everything. Take screenshots before anything gets deleted." In the dean's office, I faced a stack of printed screenshots, the same fake conversations, but now submitted as formal complaints. 3 different concerned citizens had emailed the college about my dangerous behavior toward a vulnerable mother. "I need you to understand how seriously we take these allegations," the dean said. "Cyberbullying is grounds for immediate suspension. Your scholarship could be revoked." My hands shook as I pulled out my phone. "These are fake. Look, I can show you my actual Facebook messages. I've never sent anything like this to anyone." The dean frowned, comparing the screenshots to my phone. "The images do look similar to your actual messages because someone's editing them. They took real screenshots and changed the text. Please, you have to believe me." She leaned back. "I'm not making any decisions today, but I need you to provide evidence that these are fabricated. You have 1 week." I left her office feeling sick. My scholarship covered everything: tuition, housing, meal plan. Without it, I'd have to drop out. Back in my room, Megan was already at work. "I've been tracking the IP addresses from those accounts. They're using VPNs, but there's patterns. Also, look at this." She'd found more fake accounts, all created within the last 48 hours. They used Amy's photos, the ones from her stolen laptop. The profiles claimed to be college girls looking for sugar daddies and discreet arrangements. "Oh my God," I whispered. "She's catfishing people with my sister's pictures." My phone rang. "Tom again. I found gloves in Sarah's car. Black leather gloves shoved under the passenger seat. And there's mud on the floor mats, the same red clay from Mom and Dad's backyard. Tom, she's destroying my life. She's trying to get me expelled. She's using Amy's photos to catfish men online." "I know." His voice cracked. "I also found a receipt. She bought a voice recorder last week, the day before you came to dinner. The pieces clicked. She's been recording our conversations. I think so. I can't find the actual recorder, but, God, what has she done? That evening, my mom called in tears. Your aunt just sent me the most horrible recording. It sounds like you, honey, but you're saying such awful things about Sarah and the kids. Mom, it's edited. She recorded our phone calls and cut them together. I know you wouldn't say those things, but it sounds so real. She sent it to your cousins too and your grandmother. Everyone's calling asking what's wrong with you. I spent hours trying to damage control, calling family members to explain. But how do you convince someone a recording is fake when it sounds exactly like your voice? Tuesday morning brought more chaos. I was walking to class when my manager for my part-time job at the campus bookstore called. Hey, there's a woman here claiming to be your sister-in-law. She says she's concerned about your mental health and thinks you shouldn't be working with money. I sprinted across campus. Sarah stood at the customer service desk looking perfectly put together in designer workout wear. She was talking to my manager in a hushed, concerned tone. I just worry about her stability, she was saying. The things she's been posting online, the threats she's made, I thought you should know. For the safety of your other employees, Sarah. My voice came out steady despite my racing heart. What are you doing here? She turned eyes wide with fake concern. Oh, sweetie, there you are. I was just so worried after seeing those awful posts. I had to make sure you were okay. My manager looked between us confused. Post. Sarah pulled out her phone showing him the fake screenshots. She's been harassing me online. I have 3 small children and the things she said. I just thought her employer should know. Those are fake, I said firmly. She edited those screenshots. I can prove it. Sarah's face crumpled into tears. This is exactly what I mean. She's delusional, making up conspiracies. I'm just trying to help. My manager, thankfully, knew me better than that. Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. This is a place of business. Sarah's tears dried instantly. You'll regret not taking this seriously. When something happens, remember I tried to warn you. She stormed out, but the damage was done. Other employees had overheard. Customers were staring. My manager pulled me aside. Look, I don't believe her, but I need to report this to HR. Just protocol. You might want to get ahead of this. I spent my lunch break in HR explaining everything. They took notes but looked skeptical. A concerned family member showing up at your workplace wasn't normal. Even if she was lying, it created problems. That night, Megan made a discovery. These catfishing profiles using Amy's photos, they're active. She's actually talking to men, promising to meet them. Look at this. The messages were disturbing. Amy was telling older men she needed money for college, that she was desperate and willing to do anything. She'd given out my college address, saying she lived in the dorms. We need to warn campus security, Megan said. If these men show up looking for Amy. But it got worse. Megan, who worked part-time at a local bank, suddenly sat up straight. Oh, no. Oh, no. No, no, what? Someone just applied for 3 credit cards using your social security number. The applications came through our system. They used your information but a different address somewhere in town. My blood went cold. Can you see where? It's the address for that clothing store where you work summers. They put your employer's address as your residence. The applications were already being processed. If approved, the cards would be sent to my workplace where Sarah had just made a scene about my mental stability. This is identity theft, Megan said. We need to freeze your credit immediately. We spent the next 3 hours on the phone with credit agencies filing fraud alerts. Megan helped me document everything. The fake social media accounts, the edited screenshots, the catfishing profiles, the credit applications. She's trying to frame you, Megan said. Make it look like you're the one doing identity theft. Think about it. She shows up at your work talking about your instability, then credit cards in your name arrive there? My phone buzzed. Tom? I found her burner phone. She hid it in the garage. It has everything. The fake accounts, the edited screenshots, messages to those men pretending to be Amy, even drafts of the complaints she sent to your college. Thank God. Can you screenshot everything? Already am. But there's more. I found messages to someone named Robert. She was planning something bigger, something about planting evidence. My blood ran cold. What kind of evidence? I don't know. The messages are vague, but she mentioned your parents' house and making sure it's found in the right place. I immediately called my parents. You need to search the house. Every room. Sarah's planning to plant something. They thought I was paranoid until Amy shouted from upstairs. There's something in my room. We stayed on video call as they searched. Amy had remembered the nanny cam she'd installed after the break-in. A tiny camera disguised as a phone charger. She'd wanted to feel safer in her own room. The footage was damning. It showed Sarah climbing through Amy's window at 3 a.m., 2 days after the laptop theft. She wore all blackened gloves, carrying a small bag. The camera caught her opening Amy's desk drawer and placing something inside before leaving the same way she came. My dad carefully opened the drawer. Inside, wrapped in plastic, were several small bags of white powder. "Don't touch it," I said. Drawer. Inside, wrapped in plastic, were several small bags of white powder. "Don't touch it," I said. "Call the police." Now. The next morning, our family gathered at my parents' house. Tom arrived looking haggard, carrying a box of evidence. Sarah had refused to come, claiming we were all conspiring against her. "I can't believe I didn't see it," Tom said, spreading out printed screenshots. "She's been doing this for years. I found emails from her ex-husband's mother. Sarah scammed her out of $30,000 claiming it was for medical bills after the kids were born." My mom gasped. "The surgeries? Paid for with stolen money. Her ex's mom is in a nursing home now because she can't afford better care. She gave Sarah her entire retirement savings." We spent hours piecing together the full picture. Sarah had created an elaborate web of lies, using her children as props for sympathy while funding her lifestyle through fraud. The physical transformation we'd all envied was built on theft and deception. "We need to share this," Amy said suddenly. "There's a local mom's Facebook group Sarah's always posting in. They deserve to know." Tom hesitated. "Those are the mothers of my kids' friends, and they might be her next victims," I pointed out. We crafted a careful post sticking to facts we could prove. The fake accounts using Amy's photos, the credit card fraud, the planted substances. Within hours, comments poured in. Other women shared their stories. Sarah had borrowed money she never repaid. She'd sold them products that never arrived. She'd convinced one mother to invest in a fake business opportunity. The police took our evidence seriously now. Multiple victims documented fraud, attempted framing. It painted a clear picture. They arrested Sarah that evening. The custody hearing was swift. Tom presented everything. The burner phone, the fraud evidence, the recordings of Sarah coaching the children to lie about me on camera for sympathy videos she'd posted online. The judge's decision was firm. Full custody to Tom, supervised visitation only for Sarah, mandatory restitution to all victims, including her former mother-in-law. Sarah's lawyer argued for leniency, claiming mental health issues, but the judge wasn't moved by tears that dried too quickly or stories that changed with each telling. "Your client systematically defrauded multiple people, attempted to frame a college student for substance possession, and used her own children as props in her schemes," the judge said. "This goes far beyond a cry for help." The financial judgment was severe but fair. Sarah owed over $50,000 to various victims. Her wages would be garnished. Her social media accounts were banned for fraud. She'd have to work multiple jobs just to make the monthly payments. Tom moved back to our hometown with the kids. Our parents helped with childcare while he rebuilt his life. The kids thrived without their mother's toxic influence, finally able to just be children. I kept my scholarship. The dean apologized when she saw the evidence, even wrote a letter supporting my character. My workplace understood too, especially after the credit cards arrived and were immediately reported as fraud. Sarah moved 3 states away. Last we heard, she was working at a call center and a weekend retail job, living in a studio apartment. No Instagram-worthy life to showcase. No designer clothes or surgical enhancements to maintain, just the consequences of her choices. Our family grew stronger through it all. We learned to trust our instincts, to document everything, to protect each other. Amy's cloud backup had saved us. Megan's banking knowledge had caught the fraud in time. Tom's courage to search for the truth had revealed everything. Sometimes I wonder if Sarah ever thinks about that dinner, when her mask first slit, when a simple comment about my appetite started the chain of events that exposed everything. But mostly, I'm just grateful we survived it, that my brother and his kids are safe, that justice, however imperfect, was served. The woman who once made me feel inferior for being a size 6 is now banned from the very platform she used to showcase her fake life. There's some poetic justice in that, I suppose.